Hello, welcome to With Wisdom, Embedding Energy, Embracing Seasons. And we are here to to welcome the month of May that started some days ago. And I would like to hear from you, Sam. So I'm Gabriela. Sorry, before I started, I'm Gabriela. I'm here with Sam and would like to get to know what you have to share about what May brings to your body and to your mind and to your energy.
Oh, so lovely to be with you, Gabriella. And I put on my flowery shirt today as we are celebrating the month of May and all that it brings. This is a beautiful month. It's a month of, I always feel it's like a real surge of energy. Do you feel that energy?
Yeah, I feel, I mean, for me, May is always like this explosion of colors and flavors and smells and odors. At least from where I grew up in Venezuela, it was like this, no? The flower month is the month of the mothers because
Mm,
we celebrate the mothers in the month of May. So it was a lot of the generosity of life and earth.
I love that. And I feel that very much here in my garden right now. Everything's suddenly just taken on a whole new life. It's sort of all the leaves are out, all not all the flowers, not yet, but there's a real strength in the stems as they're coming up through the ground, which I kind of see where are they getting that from? It's been quite a dry spring here in the
Mhm.
UK. I don't know what it's been like in Germany, but in terms of rain, there hasn't been so much rain here as we would normally expect. So I kind of feel like those roots must have gone deep to get the water, to the goodness, to really get that growth that I'm seeing in my garden right now and all around.
Mm. Oh yeah, I like that about the inner strengths, no? So I think
Mm,
the thing when we were speaking, I think in the month of April about the Chinese expression or the weather expression of the spring is the winds and
yes.
how the plants are still small, but then come some wings and help to shape and to strengthen these newborn plants. The winds are not something to destroy. They are just like a training partner or material that helps these plants and ourselves. Also, we were speaking at that time about our projects, ambitions, and how before growing upwards, we want to grow.
Grow down.
So yeah, now that you're mentioning maybe that this month of May is how it becomes visible about this how
Mm,
you have built these inner strengths, no, the plants, the trees and ourselves also, no, the
absolutely.
projections and projects we have.
Because so spring is always that time of growth. It doesn't matter whether we're a plant or a human or an animal. There is something about spring that kind of brings us out into, oh, what's new? What's next? What's going on? And again, this whole month is around noticing that growth, noticing that kind of extra kind of energy, but also for us as humans, in that listening to what our body needs as well.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, sometimes for us, I'm speaking for myself here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for myself, I think, okay, I've got this idea and that idea and this idea, and I have to do a little bit of pricking out, a bit of weeding out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you and your sons, or certainly know in my house, we often have seedlings growing
Mm-hmm.
in early March, April, and there are, sometimes they just grow really closely together,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to take away one or two to allow one plant or two plants to grow strongly, yeah, and get that strength in the stem. So
Mm-hmm.
I think May is also a little bit of time of just pulling out something that may not be right for right now,
Mm-hmm.
and not composting. I suppose you would compost it if it was a real plant, but saving it for another time, because those ideas that we have don't all happen to have to come to fruition right now. It might be that we might just need to save it for a better planting time at a different point in the year. How does that land with you?
Yeah, and listening to you. thinking I'm always in awe of how this well, that's why we share through this with wisdom and saying
Mm,
about the embracing the season, embodying the energy, how it doesn't matter if you read about it or not, this inner wisdom is inside of us. It's just about being in touch with that, no? And you and I, we are somatic coaches, and I think after these years of getting into more into my body, I start to feel it. And I'm listening to you, and that has been my reality in the past days because I was feeling like I had different kind of ideas and inspirations and things, and I have been feeling like a kind of clarity of where
mm,
I want to put my focus. So
love
saying,
that.
I like this, I mean, I can do many things, and that's a beautiful thing. We are multidimensional for myself. I think we are multidimensional. We can do many things. But I was like feeling like, oh, I have landed. I'm getting the month of May and I'm feeling landed and grounded and thinking, oh, yeah, I could do this and that. But if I want this to grow strong, and to have these strengths to flourish, I want to focus on this. For example, I was telling you
Mm,
thinking about writing a book, and I was thinking, okay, where do I want to put my intention and effort? So I want to put my intention and efforts in this project we have together, in with wisdom, and in my book, and that's enough. And of course, the other parts of being a mom and all this stuff. So yeah, it's landing in
mm.
my body in that way. How about you? Do you feel it somewhere in your body, in your energy, or?
Absolutely. And I'm really feeling it because I've been working through a sort of a physical complaint, really. I think I might have mentioned it in one of the videos before, but actually, I've got a back complaint, which is actually quite serious. And so I'm really having to weed out right now
Mhm.
things that are kind of not supportive for me at this moment,
Mhm.
whilst I tend to my physical needs of sorting out my back and possibly having some treatment, which will mean that I can't do all the things that Sam loves to do all the time. And I love to do a lot of things. And that's hard for me.
Mhm.
That's really hard. I'm swallowing there because I'm swallowing my disappointment down there. As I just did that, I swallowed my disappointment that I can't do all the things that I would genuinely want to do and I love to do. I love working one to one. I love doing coaching. I love doing training. I love doing writing. I love all these things. But actually, right now, I can't do that. So I'm having to weed out and be quite mindful about that and have some quieter conversations with the disappointed part of Sam,
Mhm.
who is saying, but what about?
Yeah.
What if you don't do that? Then people won't. And it's those sort of like little chats, that chat that we have in our heads. I
Mhm.
think I think me and you and people who are working in the embodied world, they understand that and they know that. But for some people, they may not necessarily stop
Mhm.
and take an opportunity to stop and think, okay, let's have a sensible conversation, disappointment.
Mhm.
Let's have a sensible conversation here. Actually, it means that the things that we want to do, actually we can do with real energy once we're in a really good physical state to do that.
Yeah.
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 And I think I'm listening to you and always what we were sharing and about this, like, as we use the seasons as guidance for
Mm,
into the natural world, but also our world and our own seasons. I was thinking how beautiful it is that our body already does that, because in the thresholds points of our life, for example, when you're going from childhood to youth, and also in the point of when we are going from this maturity to become a wise old woman, we go
mm,
pruning states. So actually our brain does that, that it's it's a program or done that way, that is doing a pruning when you
Yes.
and that's part of what we think, what we say, oh, the terrible teens, and they go through a crisis and they are rebellious. No, the brain is cleaning all
Hmm.
the things that we have like absorbed through childhood, which were necessary to come into this world. Like right now
Yes.
in the spring,
Yes.
we are like childs coming into this world. We are absorbed
Hmm.
something, a lot of things. Now the month of May for marks like the middle point between this childhood state to go into the teenage years. So it goes quite well with this pruning or weeding out of whatever we try to have a lot of seeds and things, and then we realize we need to clean, that we really give the good conditions to something to flourish, no?
Yeah, that's my lovely word over my shoulder.
Yeah,
And I
it would be in the other direction when we go from autumn to winter, no? So that we allow also the space and the silence to cocoon and to be, and of course, being these enthusiastic people we are, but also in the world of today, that it's apparently demanding of being a lot, doing many things. It's nature, so our nature is signaling us something, and our brains are wanting not to go alone. And
No, absolutely. My brain is going, oh no, what about? And I think that goes with that with wisdom in terms of that liminal state. You talked about the liminal state between childhood and adulthood, in the teenage years. And I think and I think it's for men and for women. I would say
yeah.
that there is a stage of this for men and women, particularly known for women in terms of the menopause or the perimenopause and into the menopause. Now I'm postmenopause, so I've kind of gone through that, but that is that stage of recreation. So recreating, and it is a pruning out. It is a letting go. Is
Mhm.
letting go, and it could be genuinely like letting go of, if you have children as they've grown up, you letting them go. That often menopause kind of hits when
Mhm.
your young adults are leaving the nest, etc. But there's that kind of letting go of maybe, a past work that you might have done or a past way of behaving. It's a letting go and just bring it, but also with the letting go, there's space to bring in. Yes. So there's an opportunity for something to come. So when you prune a tree or you prune a shrub, if you can imagine that in your mind, if you're pruning something, there's an opportunity for another part of that plant to grow. And in the growth, it's not one way. There'll be another branch and another twig and another part that will come off. So you're allowing, with the pruning and the weeding out that we've been talking about, something really precious to grow.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
don't think we'll be talking about pruning in May.
Yeah, me neither. Just
Maybe we need to call it weeding out. It's weeding out or pricking out. That's a more of a gardening term.
yeah.
Prick out. You're taking away things that are beautiful. They've given their all, but it's not right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just letting that land, everybody, who maybe people who are listening. What do you need to prick out right now or weed out? That is a wonderful idea, but it's not its time. There's a bit about that. There's everything has its time. Everything has its place.
Mm.
And it's not time for that right this moment, but it doesn't mean that it was not worth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I wonder if, Gabby, that's a moment that we should pause this video
Yeah.
just for the moment and let everybody just take that question as they go into the month of May.
Yeah.
And we'll come to them in the next video. Maybe we'll come to a little bit more about what May means and some of the joyful aspects of May, and we could lead you in through a meditation then as
Yeah.
well.
I think this is a perfect moment to pause and just say thank you for being here, and take the time to cross this threshold
Mm,
of coming from the beginning of spring, we are moving towards summer, but there's this maze like the bridge or the threshold that allow us to prepare for the summer or for the good bonfire to warm us, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
And you can maybe, I think it's important for you to start talking about that threshold in our next video, because I think that is quite important for the
Yeah.
month of May.
So thank you, Sam, for being here today and sharing with me about your experience with pruning and preparing for the summer. And we say thank you to you listening here. If you like it, please share it or let us know. And yeah, see you soon.
Bye bye.